Picture this. It's day 6 of carnivore. You open the fridge and there's a beautiful ribeye staring back at you, but your head is pounding like a marching band rehearsing inside your skull. You're tired. You're moody. You're staring at a coworker's donut like it owes you money. And then you go online and someone says, "Don't worry, it's just detox." And suddenly you feel better because at least your suffering has a name. And here's the problem. If we use the word detox like a magic spell, we can miss what's actually happening in your body. Or worse, we can ignore the symptoms that should make you pause and get help. So today, I'm doing what doctors do best. I'm taking the carnivore detox idea and putting it on the exam table. No shaming, no drama for drama's sake. Just truth, what's real, what's not, and what you can do to make this transition smoother. So you feel encouraged instead of confused, because words matter. And if you hear detox, you might think toxins are leaving your body, when in many cases, it's not toxins, it's physiology. It's hormones, it's fluid shifts, it's your brain changing fuel sources, and your kidneys saying, "Oh, we're doing this now? Let's define detox the right way." In actual medicine, detox is the process of taking substances, transforming them, and eliminating them. Your liver does that. Your kidneys do that. Your gut helps. Your lungs help. Your skin plays a role. And the good news is, those systems don't need a new diet to turn on. They've been working your whole life, even when you've been eating things with ingredients that sound like a Wi-Fi password. So carnivore doesn't magically activate detox. Your liver was already clocked in. Now, can carnivore reduce the incoming load of junk your body has to process? Absolutely. That part is real. When you remove ultra-processed foods, added sugars, and constant snacking, many people reduce inflammatory signals, improve glucose stability, and feel better. But the "I feel awful, so I must be detoxing" storyline, that's where we need precision. Because what most people call carnivore detox is usually one of 4 things: carbohydrate withdrawal, electrolyte and water shifts, gut and bile adaptation, or histamine and immune signaling changes. Let's start with the big one, carbohydrate withdrawal. If you drop carbs quickly, your body has to switch from running primarily on glucose to burning more fat and eventually producing ketones. That's a real metabolic shift. And during that transition, you feel off, headaches, brain fog, fatigue, cravings, irritability, sleep changes, and yes, sometimes it feels like the flu. Not because toxins are escaping, but because your brain and hormones are recalibrating. For some people, carbs aren't just food, they're comfort, they're dopamine, they're routine. So when carbs disappear, your brain can protest like a toddler who just got told there's no iPad today. That's not moral failure, that's biology. And it gets better. Now the second big detox imposter, electrolytes. This one is so common it deserves its own warning label. When insulin drops on low carb or carnivore, your kidneys excrete more sodium. That sodium loss pulls water with it, so you lose water weight fast. And you might think, wow, the diet is working. But your body might also say, wow, where did my minerals go? Low sodium and low fluid volume can cause headaches, dizziness, fatigue, muscle cramps, heart pounding, that weak, fluish feeling. And then the internet calls it detox. No, a lot of the time it's dehydration plus sodium depletion. And here's the simple truth. If your detox improves dramatically when you hydrate and increase sodium, that was not toxins leaving your body. That was your body asking for basic supplies. Now let's talk about the gut, because the gut always wants a speaking role. When you change your diet suddenly, your digestion changes. Carnivore often means more protein and more fat than you're used to. That increases bile flow. That changes bile acids. That shifts your microbiome. And early on, some people get loose stools. Bile acids can move quickly through the intestine before your system adapts. Other people get constipated because they're underhydrated, undersalted, and they have less stool bulk because they've removed a lot of plant matter. So the gut changes are real, but it's not your gut purging poison. It's your gut recalibrating to a new input. Now, skin symptoms. This is where people get nervous. Rashes, itching, acne flares, eczema changes. Some call it detox rash. Here's the more accurate lens. One possible driver is histamine. If you're sensitive to histamine, aged meats, processed meats, and leftovers can be a problem. Histamine issues can show up as flushing, itching, hives, headaches, or skin flares. Another possibility is immune signaling shifts. When you remove common irritates and stabilize blood sugar, inflammation signaling can change. Some people improve quickly, some people flare briefly, and some people finally notice baseline issues that were masked by constant sugar, poor sleep, and stress. So yes, skin changes can be real, but toxins leaving through the skin is usually a storytelling shortcut. And shortcuts don't help you troubleshoot. Now let's make this practical, because I want you empowered, not spooked. If you're starting carnivore and you want to reduce the chance of feeling terrible, here are the big rocks. First, don't go too lean too fast. A lot of people start carnivore eating chicken breast and sadness. Then they wonder why they have no energy. If you drop carbs, you need enough fat for fuel, especially early on. Second, prioritize electrolytes, especially sodium. This is not the time to fear salt like it's a villain in a superhero movie. Low carb lowers insulin. Lower insulin changes sodium handling. That's physiology, not opinion. Third, hydrate early in the day. You don't chug water late at night unless you enjoy getting up at 2 a.m. to meet your toilet again. Fourth, if you suspect histamine issues, lean toward fresher meats. Freeze portions, limit leftovers. Be cautious with aged and processed meats. Fifth, simplify. This is not the moment to do carnivore plus 3 new supplements plus 5 cups of coffee plus a 72-hour fast. I love ambition, but your biology prefers a calm, predictable plan. Now, quick pause. If you're finding this helpful and you like content that translates confusing health trends into real-world physiology, take a second to like and subscribe, because my goal here is to help you get healthier with clarity, not fear. And if you've experienced carnivore detox, drop a comment with what happened to you. Headaches, fatigue, GI issues, skin changes. I read those comments and they help shape future videos. Now, we also need to talk about the line between normal adaptation and a red flag, because I never want someone to suffer through something dangerous because the internet told them it's a badge of honor. If you have severe persistent vomiting, severe abdominal pain, fainting, chest pain, severe palpitations, confusion, black or bloody stools, or rapid worsening weakness, that's not detox. That's get evaluated. Also, if you take medications for diabetes or blood pressure, low carb and carnivore can change your needs, sometimes quickly. So, do not wing this alone. Work with your clinician, especially if you're on insulin, sulfonylureas, or multiple blood pressure meds. Now, let's reframe the whole detox conversation in a way that actually helps you. If you want to use the word detox, use it like this. Detox is not something your body turns on. Detox is what happens when your body has less junk coming in and your metabolic system stabilizes. Better blood sugar, less glucose variability, less constant insulin signaling, improved satiety, often better sleep. And that's not magic, that's root cause. It's reducing the inputs that create the problem in the first place. Because the biggest detox for most people isn't a cleanse. It's stopping the daily flood of ultra-processed food that requires so much damage control. Now here's the encouraging part. Most of the rough early symptoms people call detox are temporary. They're signals, and signals are useful. Headaches and fatigue? Check electrolytes, hydration, sleep and overall intake. Diarrhea, consider fat adaptation, bile flow changes, and how abruptly you increase fat. Constipation, hydration, sodium, magnesium, movement, and under-eating. Skin issues, consider histamine, stress, sleep and food freshness, mood and cravings. That's your brain rewiring reward pathways, and it improves with time and consistency. You're not broken. You're adapting, and adaptation is not always comfortable, but it can be very meaningful. So if you're starting carnivore, here's my doctor's promise. I'm not going to scare you. I'm going to prepare you, because preparation turns panic into confidence, and confidence turns short-lived motivation into long-term change. Now, if you want a simple takeaway from this entire video, it's this. Don't let the word detox replace the word cause. Root cause beats trendy labels every time. And if you want more guidance, check the description and the playlist. I've got videos on electrolytes, cravings, blood sugar, and how to interpret labs on low carb and carnivore. So you can stay curious, stay safe, and stay consistent. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep learning your body. Because the goal isn't to survive detox. The goal is metabolic stability. And that's where real healing lives.